Hello everyone, my name is Syafiq Harjianto, and today I want to present to you my presentation about free and bound morpheme. And let's get into part 1. So what's the definition of morphemes? A morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of a language. It can be a single word or a part of a word that carries a meaning. For example, the word unhappiness has three morphemes: the un, meaning not, happy, the best meaning, and ness change adjective into noun. Each part contributes meaning, even if it's not a complete word on its own. There are two main types of morphemes. First, free morphemes, which can stand alone as a words. For example, like cat, run, swim, quick, and table. Second, bound morphemes, which must be attached to another morpheme to have meanings. For example, the plural s in cats, the prefix "un" in unhappy, and the suffix "ly" in quickly. First, we get into the free morpheme. A free morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone as a word and still have meanings. It doesn't need to be attached to anything else. There are two types of free morphemes. Lexical morphemes is a content word, and functional morphemes are said as a function words. Types of free morphemes. There are two types for free morphemes. The first one is lexical morphemes. Carry the core or semantic meaning. They are usually nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. For example, house, love, dance, green, and cat. Second is functional morphemes are grammatical words that help structure sentences. They connect ideas but don't carry strong meaning alone. For example, and, but, in, on, because, the, and he, and etc. Bound morphemes. A bound morpheme is a morpheme that cannot stand alone. It must be attached to another word, a base or root, to create the meaning. There are two types of bound morphemes. First, derivational morphemes, and second, inflectional morphemes. Derivational morphemes, they create new words or change the word class. They often appear as prefix or suffix. For example, care, to careful, adds meaning full of care. Kind to unkind adds negative meaning for the un. Use to reuse, prefix re adds again. Happy to happiness, thus makes it a noun. Second, inflectional morphemes. They can change the grammatical form of a word, such as tense, number, comparison, or possession, without changing the word's original meaning or word class. For examples like walk to walk into past tense, but it still has the same meaning. Run to running, so it's a continuous sentence or word. Play to plays, like for a third person singular. Big to bigger for comparative. Cat to cats as a plural form. And now into part 2, solving study case. First study case. During an interview, a non-native speaker says, I unlike going to crowded places, but my friend likes them. So first we gonna see the morphemes and its classification. I as a free morphemes, unlike the un is a bound morpheme and like the free morpheme. Going to go is the free morpheme and ing as a bound morpheme. To is a free morpheme, crowded from crowd and ed. Place and places is already a free morpheme, but it has an inflectional. Use an s as a bound morpheme. But, my, and friend as a free morpheme. Likes use from the root like and s, and then them is a free morphemes. The prefix "un" adds a negative meaning, like unlike to not, meaning to not like. A derivational morpheme creates a new word. Suffix s shows plural like places or third singular like likes. An inflectional morpheme changes grammar, not meaning. Bloomfield's more there's a supporting theory. Bloomfield's morpheme theory from 1933. Words are built from smaller units, or morpheme, that each add meaning or function. For example, an plus like forms a new meaning. By, by B. and Aronoff's theory in 1976 and 1985. Derivational morphemes like an make new words. Inflectional morphemes like s only mark grammar. Together they show how meaning and grammar interact in word formation. Now in the second study case, a local English magazine editor confused the following pairs. First one into manage to management, talk to talking, hope to hopeful, play to play. The editor asks your linguistic insight to explain how these words pairs differ in their morphological movement. So the first manage to management is a derivational change, creates a noun from a verb to manage to management. Talk to talking using a suffix ing. Inflection is an inflectional, shows continuous tense. Hope to hopeful using a suffix full. Derivational is a derivational morphemes. Creates a adjective form. Creates an adjective from noun or verb. Play to played using suffix ed is an inflectional marks past tense. So the derivational morpheme adds a new meaning and may change part of speech, like manage to management is a verb to a noun, hope to hopeful is a noun to adjective, while inflectional keeps same words class but change grammatical function. Talk to talking is the same verb but it's a continuous aspect. Play to play is the same still verb but it's in a past tense. This is a derivational sequence. Oh wait. Uh, the third study case, a student claims that when is the past tense of go because of the ed rule. You are asked to evaluate the statement. So regular past tense verbs follow the rule verb plus ed. Walk to walk, play to play, but go doesn't becomes go. It becomes when. This means it doesn't follow regular morphological patterns. The word when actually comes from an entirely different root. When is a when from Old English verb meaning to run or to go. So when replaces go completely instead of being formed by a rule. The relationship between go and when is an example of suppletion. Regular past tense first follow the rule verb plus ed, like example walk to walk, play and to play. But go doesn't become go, it becomes when. This means it doesn't follow. Suppletion happens when a word changes form completely, not by normal affixation or sound change. It's used to mark grammatical contrast, like tense or degree. The new form comes from a different root. Examples of suppletion in English. From go to when, it's a different roots. Am, is, or are into was or where. The good to better to best. It's comparison. Suppression fills a gap in regular morphology. We use a different form because there's no consistent rule in English. Suppression in the mental lexicon in our brain's mental lexicon, suppletive forms are stored separately, not generated by rule. Speakers learn that when equals to pass of go through memorization, not rule of application. Morphological theory suggests two processes in the brain. Rule-based generation for regular forms like walk, lexical storage for irregular forms like when. Suppletive pairs are linked semantically, not morphologically. Andrew, there is a supportive theory from Andrew Hippisley, Suppletion Frequency and Lexical Storage from 2001. This paper argues that suppletive forms tend to occur in high-frequency lexical items, and this frequency correlates with how they are stored in the mental lexicon. And second theory is from Pavel Chaha, with the title Suppletion and Morpheme Order are Word Special from 2017. This article examines the structural and theoretical conditions under which suppletion appears, including how it may interact with morpheme order and more abstract morphological structure. And now into the fourth study case. You encounter these expressions in a student essay. Greenhouse effect, blackboard, smartphone, and pickpocket. For quick definition, endocentric compound is a compound that has a head inside the compound that determines its category and core meaning. English usually has the right hand element as the head, or should I say the right right rightmost the rightmost words. Exocentric compound is the compound meaning or category is not derived from either part in the usual. So if we apply it to words, the greenhouse is endocentric. The head is the house, meaning a type of house used for plants. Blackboard is endocentric. Head is the board, and the meaning is of sorry, a type of board used for writing. Smartphone is endocentric. The head is phone, and the meaning a type of phone with smart features. Pickpocket is exocentric. Neither pick nor pocket serve as the head meaning. The meaning is a person who steals from pockets. The overall meaning refers to a person or a agent outside the direct head modifier or interpretation. So there is a stress pattern. In English, stress means which part of a word or phrase we say more strongly or loudly. In compounds, the first word usually gets the main stress. For example, blackboard, a tool used for writing class. Greenhouse, a place to grow plants. A smartphone, a type of phone. If the phrase is not a compound but a phrase, adjective plus noun, stress often falls onto the noun, like a greenhouse. A house is a green, and a blackboard, a board that is black. Pickpocket, with compound stress, pickpocket is a lexicalized unit, meaning thief. Stress helps listeners treat it as one word rather than a verb, plus noun phrase. So this is supporting theories. Lieber from 2009 explains that many compounds are headed, English right-headed. So the right-hand element supplies the category and much of the core meaning. This explains why greenhouse and smartphones are interpreted as types of house or phones. According to Guidrich in 2004 and Buich in 2010, stress placement is one of the key signals that distinguish compounds from normal word phrases in English. First word stress, single lexical unit or compound. Second word stress is a regular descriptive phrase. So now into the case 5, to analyze unbelievableness, the words. So the morphemes "un" is a bound morpheme, it's the derivational. Belief is free morpheme, it's the root, the main meaning. Able is the bound morpheme and derivational morpheme, means can be. And ness is a bound morpheme and derivational morphemes, turns into a noun. In the word unbelievableness, only derivational morphemes are used. There is no inflectional endings like s, ed, and in. But we can still discuss how derivational and inflectional processes normally interact in complex word information. Start with belief is the verb. Add able, so it's believable as a turn into adjective. Add an un is unbelievable, still adjective. And add suffixness will be unbelievableness. It will be turned into noun. The supporting theories will be from Mark Aronoff from 1976, says derivational affixes create a new words and new meaning. And second theories is Gerd Boich from 2010, explains that complex words are formed in layers, its affix attached in order, and words meaning gradually. Thank you for your attention and see you now.